the day in Atlanta. And Coach, I guess that's kind of where we'll start. You've always been this offensive mind. You've been at the forefront, it seems like, for decades now. And sure enough, week 1 of the XFL, nobody's offense looked as good as the Roughnecks. What'd you think about your team?
Well, I think we got some really good players and also good kids. We have some speed, which you have to have, and my quarterback P.J. Walker played extremely well, and he's got room to improve, but I think he's got a chance to be a pretty good one.
What do you think, Coach? Because you've coached it all. NFL, long time at Hawaii, a little stay in the CFL with the Ticats, now to the Roughnecks. How does this league, how does the XFL kind of talent-wise stack up with these other leagues that you've been involved in?
Well, I think it's better than the USFL was at that time. I think it's the American players in the CFL. I think this is a whole team of American players. I think there's American players in the CFL certainly have a chance to get back to the National Football League. They just don't have many of them up there. And then, I think that a lot of these kids will get into camps at May 1st when we're done.
Coach, as we said, you've been all over. Are you living in Houston? Is Hawaii still home? Where's June Jones' home base nowadays?
Hawaii is still home, but I'm here for a couple months, that's for sure.
June Jones, the head coach of the Houston Roughnecks. So you've coached the quarterback position. Everybody from Brett Favre to Bobby Hebert to Timmy Chang in the college.
Timmy Chang, there's a name. Hell
NCAA all-time leading passing yardage, career passing yardage leader. How have you seen the evolution of that position? We just watched an incredible season with Joe Burrow, kind of just dicing up college football. How have you seen, from your point of view, the evolution of the quarterback position to where it is now?
Well, I think because of Mouse, in particular in the state of Texas and in the Southeast, because of Mouse back in the 80s, putting in what we do, 4 wide receivers, and it's created a passing leagues in the summer. It's created quarterbacks where 30 years ago, 25 years ago, the Texas players were just handing off in an I formation and throwing play action passes. Where now they're spreading 4 and 5 wides and throwing all year, and so the development of the quarterback has taken an unbelievable bound.
And really, Coach, I don't know how much you got to watch the college game this last season. Did you get to see any of LSU from afar and their quarterback Joe Burrow?
Absolutely. I think he's the best college quarterback I've ever looked at.
Whoa.
I haven't seen the film on him, but I was just blown away. His accuracy, the way he commanded the offense. I think that whoever gets him has a franchise quarterback for probably 15, 16 years, bar injury.
Wow, June Joe, that's a powerful statement coming from you talking about that. Can you go a little bit further into that? When you saw him play for the first time, what made you react to that? What made you say that?
Well, I probably wouldn't have said it until about mid-season after he did what he did early, and then as he got into the competitive games where he had to win, he just took control. And like I said, his accuracy vertical down the field is second to none, and that's where you find out if you have one of those guys or not. And he is accurate.
How many of those guys have you had?
Well, I had Warren Moon, obviously, Jim Kelly. Those two guys threw the ball vertically down the field extremely well, as proven as their Hall of Fame deal. Bobby played for me. I wish I had your dad when he was 24 years old. I think
he was a little beat up at the time.
Yeah, his arm was hurting, and he still made the Pro Bowl for me. But I wish that because he was a leader, a competitor, and all those things. And then let's see who else. Well, Colt Brennan was unbelievable for me. He set 54 all-time NCAA records. He was incredible. Unfortunately, he got into some other things that he didn't make it.
Talking to head coach Houston Roughnecks, head coach June Jones, currently undefeated in his XFL coaching career.
Most
never,
impressive team in the league.
Yep, never been beaten. What do you think about Philip Walker, man? Does he have the potential to be one of those guys, PJ?
Yeah, I think he does. I played against him in college when he was at Temple and I was at SMU, and his first game was against me, and I remember walking over to him on the field after the game and shaking his hand and introducing myself to him because I saw him do things that no 18-year-old could ever do. I think the biggest thing is he's just never had an opportunity to start and play a season, which now he's going to have a whole season, spring of film for the NFL to watch.
Coach Jones, you coaches are a big fraternity. Ogeron made news yesterday by bringing on a passing game coordinator, Scott Linehan, who's got tremendous experience in both the NFL and has coached on the college level. I don't know if you guys know each other, but I know that the coaching fraternity is large and wide, and the offensive minds usually hang out in the same corner. Do you know anything about Linehan and what he could possibly bring LSU?
I followed him. I definitely followed him. I would know him to say hello. I don't. He's not a real good friend, but like you said, you're always in the same arena all the time. He is a good one to hire. It's a tough replacement after the season they had, but good for him that he gets a chance to do it.
How much do you study other programs like Sean Payton and the Saints or offense Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams? How much do you guys use your offseason to maybe gain intel about what's going on that side of the ball?
Well, I watch all those. I have particular guys I watch, Peyton being one of them, Andy Reid being another, and what they do in New England. Those kind of three I've focused on because they're leading edge type teams, that do things differently. And so I pay attention quite a bit to all that. So,
Coach, like we said, you've been so innovative offensively throughout your career. This double forward pass, you got anything cooking up, or is it a bit too much being made of the double forward pass?
We have a couple things in there for it, but we didn't call them this past week, and I don't know, when the time will be right to do them, but we'd like to get them on film so they have to defend them.
How different is it coaching this game with the new rules? How much time do you spend in that with practice?
Well, it's not as different for me because I was in the CFL for 2 seasons, and so the clock up there was 20 seconds versus 25 seconds. So,
oh wow,
it probably for the American coaches that have never been to Canada, Mark Trestman and I both were up there, so we didn't have a delay of game this past week, and I would anticipate we would not.
Yeah, Coach, one guy that I know you've worked with through the years, Jerry Glanville, Mark Trestman's defensive coordinator. Do you have any idea why Coach Glanville had 2 headsets on this last weekend?
Yeah, I know. That was a unique deal. I do, because I talked to him. I said, what the heck? He said, well, one of them wasn't working, and he had a guy in the box that was always calling out personnel groupings, and that one was not working, so he put on another one, and the other one was so he could talk to the players.
Yeah, I mean, there
Looked
you
like
go.
1992 for Jerry,
yeah,
man.
we got the inside info. Okay, Coach Jones, last one here before we let you go. Houston Roughnecks head coach June Jones. Look, I will always support you, Coach. My family's always had great love for you, but I am a diehard St. Louis Battlehawks fan since day one. How are you feeling about the matchup this weekend?
Well, we're going to get challenged. They went on the road and won against a pretty good Dallas team. I think, Jonathan Hayes has done a good job. Their defense is kind of like what Pittsburgh, Dick LeBeau, and those guys used to do. So, I have a little familiarity with that. But at the same time, you got to execute on game day, and hopefully we'll play good enough to win.
1-0, Houston Roughnecks, St. Louis this weekend, taking on the Battlehawks. Thanks for the time this morning, Coach. Good luck.
All right, you guys. Aloha.
Yes,
Aloha.
sir. Nice. He seems real chill.
Is that?